everyone. This is the Slopes Day 7 Algebra Extension lesson, and it's the last lesson in this unit, chapter, whatever you want to call it. Let's get to it. Write an equation for the line that satisfies a given condition. So it's a line, and write an equation. What are the two things that you need? We talked about it. Slope, y-intercept, so you can get the equation in y equals mx plus b form. Okay? The slope is 7. The y-intercept is -2. That means it's just going to be y equals 7x minus 2. Really no work, just substituting. Number 2, the slope is 0, and the y-intercept is 9.18, so y equals 0x plus 9.18. And you can always write this as y equals 9.18. Because 0 times x is 0, and it just goes away. The line passes through the points 3, 1, and 6, 4. So how do we find our slope? Well, we have our equation. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So this is going to be x1, y1, x2, y2. So y2 is 4, so 4 minus y1, which is 1, and 6 minus 3. And that gives you 3 over 3. And 1. So your slope is 1. And now at this point you can either use slope intercept or point slope. So let's just use point slope. Remember, point slope is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So y minus, and I'm going to use the first point because the numbers are smaller. You could use the second point. It's really up to you. I do the smaller numbers, the non-negatives. When it's positives, if there's a 0, I'll use it. It just makes the problem a lot easier. My y minus 1 is equal to m1 times x minus 3. So you have this over here, so you have to distribute the 1. So y minus 1 is equal to 1x minus 3. And we need to get where y is by itself, so you're adding 1 to both sides here. That'll get rid of everything on the left side, so y equals x minus 2. Negative 3 plus 1 is minus 2. All right, next problem. The line passes through the points negative 24, 11, and negative 8, 3. So m equals, and this is, remember, x1, y1, x2, y2. Already know you're going to have to deal with sign work over here, so you have to be careful. Negative 3 minus negative 11 over negative 8 minus negative 24. And when this happens, negative, negative, you're going to have a plus. When this happens, a plus. So negative 3 plus 11 is going to be 8. Negative 8 plus 24. So 24 minus 8 is 16. And that is 1/2. This time I'm going to use slope intercepts. So y equals mx plus b. I'm going to use this point because the numbers are a little smaller. So negative 3 is your y. M is 1/2. X is negative 8. We're trying to find our b. So negative 3 equals 1/2 times negative 8 is negative 8 over 2, which is negative 4, plus b. I'm just going to rewrite this. So add 4 to both sides. So b equals 1, and our equation is going to be y equals, m is slope is 1/2, x plus 1. The line that passes through points negative 4.52. So I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to let you try this. I know it has decimals, but you're fine with decimals. You can do it. So pause it. Welcome back. So one thing you notice about this is that the slope is 0. That actually makes the problem super easy. You're just trying to find what your y-intercept is. And when that happens, you can go through this whole process, but we know that the value of y is 2 on both of them. And when the slope is that, it's just going to end up being y equals 2 equation. I just left the 0x in there so you can see, but you can write y equals 2. So yeah, that's what happens when the y's are repeating, and that just makes the slope 0. Okay. Next problem. When am I doing this in purple? M is -2, -1/2, and you have your x, y here. So again, whichever method you want to pick, I'm going to use slope-intercept because that's my preferred method. I told you, I find it easier. Point slope is fine. If you get the same answer, you're good. Maybe you should try it that way to see if it matches up my answer. So 0 is equal to -1/2 times 5 plus b. So 0 is equal to -5/2 plus b. So add 5/2 to both sides. And you're going to get b is equal to 5/2. So your equation is going to be y equals -1/2 x plus 5/2. And it doesn't matter if you're putting the negative with the top. I just have a habit of it. It's fine if you put it in the middle or at the bottom. They're all okay. As long as you have one and only one negative, you are fine. All right, so word problem here, which I love. At Big Bob's Bowling Center, the cost to bowl 4 games, not including the shoe rental, is $8.40, and the cost to rent shoes is $1.15. Write an equation for the costs for renting shoes and bowling and games. So C equals the cost to rent 4 games, not including a shoe rental, is $8.40. The cost to rent shoes is $1.15. So it's going to be $1.15 is you're going to be the fixed rate, and since they're telling you it's $8.40 to rent 4 games, you're going to do 8.40, 8.4 divided by 4 to find out how much it costs to rent 1 pair of shoes, and that's going to be $2.10. So that's going to be plus 210 n, because they're telling you n games, okay? 4 games. So this is $8.40 for 4 games. So we're dividing by 4 to get $2.10 per game. Okay, that's your, what is the y-intercept for your equation? 115. As it says up here, cost to rent shoes. What is your slope? Cost for 1 game or per game. What is the cost of renting and bowling 6 games? So C equals 115 plus 210 times 6. And I'm cheating here, and I'm just going to use a calculator. Plus 1375. Yeah, it's just going to be $4.75. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Tony paid $7.45 for his game and shoe rental. How many games in Tony bowl? So this time, this is representing your cost. So let's do it in a different color. So we have our equation up over there. C equals 115 plus 210n. So we now know C. So we're just going to do 745 equals 115 plus, I'm probably writing too big, 210n. Subtract 115 for both sides. And that gives you 630 is equal to 210n divided by 210. So n equals 3. So how many games? 3 games. Today is Barry's birthday. Barry's grandfather gave him some money as birthday gifts. Barry says he will put his birthday money in a safe and add part of his allowance to it each week. His sister Betty asked him how much his grandfather gave him and how much his allowance he's planning to save each week. Barry does not answer his sister directly. Instead, he gave her some information. Let her puzzle out the facts herself. And if you want, pause the video and then try to see if you can get the same answer as I do. Barry tells Betty that he will save the same amount from his allowance each week. Right? He says that after 5 weeks, he will have saved a total of $175, and after 8 weeks, he has saved $190. How much is Barry planning to save each week? So 5 weeks, 175, 8 weeks, 190. So one thing you can think of here is the equation. Okay, so this, I already know what these represent, but if you're not sure, total saved equals, just trying to have a loose equation, equals amount of gift plus allowance saved times number of weeks. Alright, we can identify what all of this is, but this will help you. So total saved, this is 175, this is 190. And another variable, amount of gift, we don't know what the amount of gift is, but that is our y-intercept because this is the chain. Rate of change is the allowance saved. The number of weeks is going to be your x, and the total saved is your y. So these are giving you 2 points. This is going to be 5, 175, and 8, 190. I don't know if that helps. So we can actually find how much he's planning to save each week by finding the slope, allowance saved. So m equals 190 minus 175. I'm just subtracting the two y's. 8 minus 5, so that is 190. This is going to be 15 over 3 is 5. So he is saving $5 each week. How much did Barry's grandfather give him for his birthday? And this is the part that you don't know. So let's just now start making variables for this. If you want, this is going to be T, amount of gift is G, allowance saved, we know that's 5, number of weeks is W. So T is equal to G plus 5W. And we do know something. We know information here. We know 5 weeks is 175. So we're just substituting that back in there. So 175 is equal to G plus 5 times 5. We're trying to find our y-intercept here. That's what this is saying. So 175 is equal to G plus 25. Subtract 25. That means his grandfather gave him $150. Write an equation for the total amount of money. I mean, I did a problem before this. They're just giving you specific, write an equation for the total amount of money, M. So we're just going to change our variables to what they say. So M is equal to 150, because that's your y-intercept, plus 5n. And that's your final equation. And we're done. Unit 7, not Unit 7, slopes, units, or chapter, or whatever you want to call it, is done. If you have any questions, please email me. Bye.